And welcome to the LV Experts radio show where we talk about real estate and financing. This is the only channel live on YouTube to get you the updated information out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So today we have a special guest, the one and only Cowdy Nagao. So today we are going to be talking about what's going on in the new master plan community of Summerlin. They are building a bunch of homes out there. And you guys know this. If you guys want to get in, right, at the very beginning, that is the best time to buy a home. That is right, okay? So let me introduce my special guest today, Cowdy Nagao. How you doing today, Cowdy?
Really great. Thank you so much for having me, Chakits.
Hey, I do appreciate you taking your time to come on out here, right? And you got a lot of information to share, so we definitely want to pick your brain. But last but not least, the one and only, the myth, the legend, the kings of all kings, the root of all evils when it comes to financing and loans, Dan French himself. What's up, buddy?
I liked everything but the root of all evil. He said root of all evil. I guess lenders are all evil.
Is that true? I'm not too sure.
I guess so.
But welcome, guys. So I just want to say thank you again for the both of you guys attending the show. You guys didn't have to be here. You guys could be anywhere else. But dedication, that just shows that you guys are really good at what you guys do. But I want to get right into it because we don't have that much time. We talked about this in the past. When you do buy a home out here in Las Vegas, right? It's all about, location. In addition to that, you want to be the first to get in on the deal because when you buy in the first phase, what happens is you're buying at a lower price point. And as each home sells or every week that goes by, they continue to raise the price on the base price or even on the lot. So, Cowdy, let's talk about what is going on in the southwest of the Las Vegas Valley. You got a lot of great news. So let's talk about Summerlin first. Mm-hmm. Explain what Summerlin is, because when I get calls, the first thing people say, hey, I want to go to Summerlin.
Okay.
What is so special about Summerlin?
So Summerlin is a master plan community. It's been voted best master plan community in the U.S. for many years. And it's located on the northwest side of our Las Vegas Valley. It spans 22,000 acres.
Okay.
And today I'm really excited to share with you and talk to you about Summerlin West, which is the new piece of land that has all the future development. And there's 5,000 acres left there to develop.
Okay.
And that's going to be for the next 10 to 20 years. And then after that, Summerlin will be fully built. There's going to be no more new construction.
You know what they got to do at that point?
What?
They got to create Winterland.
Winterland.
Not Summerlin, Winterland.
So, Cowdy, you have such a beautiful face. Why don't you pull that mic down so that way people can really see your face? There you go.
Thank you. Thank
so,
you.
Summerlin.
Yes.
Where do we get the name Summerlin? Do you guys know?
I have no clue.
Really?
No.
So Howard Hughes' grandma, his name is Summerlin. That's how they came up with Summerlin.
I see.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting.
Yes. Let's talk about Summerlin a little bit, Dan. You don't live in Summerlin, but what are your thoughts about Summerlin?
It's good.
You think it's overrated?
Yeah, I do. A little bit. I mean, I know some of the houses they're building out there, 3-story homes, they're being blocked. I mean, the thing about Vegas is that they're trying to compact so many homes in one area, condense the area, that you're like, okay, I got a 3-story home. I got a view of the Strip. But all of a sudden they got another site, or they got another construction area that they're starting to build. So it blocks it. So unless you're really up and it's like, you can see
Elevated,
down.
right.
Yeah. If you have an elevation that's a little bit higher, I think the only reason I would buy Summerlin is for the, for the view, Yeah. Because I could do this. I can go in Summerlin, buy a house. I would need to have some type of, view of the Strip so I can go out and just hang out and do my thing, and enjoy my time. But other than that, there's nothing that really attracts me to Summerlin.
Now, Summerlin is located on the west side of the Las Vegas Valley, right? I'm going to say the heart of Summerlin, and correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm going to say it's 215 in Charleston. I'm going to say that's kind of like the heartbeat of Summerlin.
That's the new area, right? It's all like if you go more west, that's all the new development, right?
Correct.
Okay.
north of Far Hills, actually.
Yeah.
So further north of Charleston Boulevard. But yeah, I agree with you, Chakits. I really think the heart of Summerlin is around that 215 Sahara Charleston area because we have downtown Summerlin.
Yeah.
We've got the ballpark. We've got the City National Arena where the Golden Knights practice.
Okay.
And yeah.
Now, for our new listeners and followers that have not been out here, I just want to throw this up on the screen real quick so that way people can see exactly what's going on. So here's the 15, right? That literally cuts across the Las Vegas Valley. Here's the 215 right here, okay? Then we have the airport right here, which is now Harry Reid International. So Summerlin is going to be right here. This is going to be the 215 right here, and also Charleston. So this is what we're talking about, the heart of things. Las Vegas Strip is right here. So it's not down the middle here, but the main strip is going to be right here. Here's the airport. I'm going to say this is probably about a 25-minute drive if you jumped on the 215 and started heading east, right? To jump on the 15 to get to the airport.
Yeah.
Would you guys say so?
I would agree.
Okay. Now, I want to zoom in on this a little bit because I want people to understand what's really going on out here and really see what's going on, okay? So Summerlin has about over 122,000 residents right now, okay? My computer is a little bit slow, so I do apologize. Okay. Now, if we take a look here, okay, on the east side of the 215, I'm going to say this is more of the older Summerlin. It has already been developed. But then on the west side of the 215 here, as you can see, there's a lot of development here. So we have Stonebridge or Bridgestone. I keep getting this confused, right? But then we have Red Point and Red Point Square over here, okay? So they are developing a lot of stuff that's going on over here. We have a shooting range here. If we take the 159, this takes you into the national park, right?
Correct.
Well, what's great about this is, let me zoom out. This is what I like about this. And this is what, a lot of people that are into cycling that they really like. It's they could take this Charleston Boulevard all the way around here and you get this beautiful, nice scenic view. Then from there, you can literally go back to the southwest of the Las Vegas Valley. Now you are actually on Blue Diamond. Isn't that kind of cool?
That is cool.
I mean, that's a pretty dope ride, right?
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah.
Now, if we zoom in on just a little bit more here, we do have a shopping center because this is like the heart of everything. So a couple things that they have here. They got Ross. They have Costco's, I think it is. There's a Walmart here too, right? Was there a Walmart here? I don't remember.
I think it's just the Costco, the big Costco there. Yeah.
So it's just dang, Walmart can't even go over there. What's up with that?
I know.
So right here we have I lost where am I at?
I think that was strategic. They didn't have
You
that.
think so?
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think they just didn't pay enough money to get over there.
I think it's strategic as well, Dan. I've got to agree. I guess
Ooh.
the closest one is the 215 Rainbow Arroyo Shopping Center.
Oh, I guess that would make sense, right?
And they want to bring that traffic down to the southwest. So.
Okay. So now let's take a look at this. So we have Red Rock Casino here. Okay. With Red Rock Casino, let me see if I can get more of a 3D version here for you guys. Okay. Well, this thing is loading. Oh, this is not a 3D. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. That's a little bit better, right? So here's your Red Rock. So if you guys want to, gamble, this is a good place to go gambling. I went bowling here the other day. Believe it or not, my first game I played two frames, right? Not 2 frames, but 2 games, right?
Yeah.
In one game. I bowled over 225. The second game I played twice again. Both games I bowled over 185. So, I just want to gloat, It is
but
what it is.
Is that mid pack or is that top level? Like where do you think the break off is?
The top level is really like the 280, but the average person only bowls probably like 120.
Okay.
Right. So, but anyway, not about me. I just want to throw it on there because I'm an avid bowler and I'm gonna go bowling today.
Good.
That's the reason why we started the show now at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Now you talked about the arena here.
Yes.
Let's talk about this arena a little bit. So we have an arena and also a baseball park.
Yes.
It's called The Park, right?
The Las Vegas ballpark.
Now, I've never been there, but I've driven there multiple times.
Uh-huh.
I have opportunities to go watch the Aviators.
That's who plays up there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the Aviators is a minor league, right? Is that correct?
Is correct.
Minor league for the Mariners, I think it is. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that.
Mariners.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments below if that is correct or incorrect.
Okay.
But we also have the hockey team right next door.
the Golden Knights hockey practice arena, City National.
Now, have you been there before?
I have many times. Actually, we have a lot of, the kids could go ice skating there. So we've had some, school events there. And then I also know a lot of mom friends that take their sons to hockey practice every morning at 5 o'clock there.
Oh, so the kids can actually practice hockey there.
Yeah, they're developing
isn't that amazing?
our future Vegan Golden Knights players there.
Oh, nice. Now, another thing here is that we have a outdoor, what is this, like an outlet? I don't want to say it's an outlet, actually, because it's not an outlet.
Yeah, shopping center.
Yeah, but it reminds me of like Rodell Drive for some apparent reason.
Yeah.
When the weather's nice, it's really nice to walk around. Mm-hmm. People walk their dogs, believe it or not, out there.
They do.
And I think every Saturday, right up here, okay, you see this little grass area? They have like some sort of like, I forget the name of it, but I've done a couple videos. It's not like a farmer's market, but it's more like an arts and crafts every Saturday. And I think it starts from like 8 to 12. I don't remember exactly, but if you've never been there, this is something that you need to take your family. Mm-hmm. That's what I've noticed about Summerlin. It's more family-oriented, right?
100%.
Would you say a lot of soccer moms live out there?
Yes.
What about people who got their nose in the air?
I call it bougie. There's a lot of bougie out there.
Bougie, yeah.
Hey,
There's some bougie.
Look, it's okay being bougie because sometimes it's all right being bougie. I get like that sometimes. But then I got to get chin check from my wife. She's like, what are you doing? Can't help it.
Check.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a mindset, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mindset,
So,
yes.
so the question that I have for the both of you, why would somebody move to Summerlin? I mean, is this all they have to offer? Like when somebody says, hey, where should I live? Would you just say, hey, go to Summerlin? And if so, why?
Well, I think it's just because you're trying to live up with the Joneses and you got a big ego. I'm just playing.
Say that again.
Just playing. I think you moved to Summerlin because you're an outdoor person.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of things, like you said, family, and it's new, right? And you're going to get the newest, latest if you buy a new home for the most part.
Yes.
It's centralized as far as, I feel like it's centralized. You can go from North Las Vegas to the other side, right, south, and you're like right in the middle, even though you're off to the west. So I think it's a good location for that. And I think also, too, you got a good view of the Strip, and you get more of the seasonal up there. You know, when it's snowing or there's something going on like that, you're going to, some people like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to get that.
Yeah. And just to add to that, so Summerlin is elevated from our regular on the Strip or, the southwest side where I live. And so, it's a few degrees cooler in the summer, which is obviously really nice.
Yeah.
And the elevation, I agree with you, Dan, the views.
The views are great.
And, I'm going to be
Amazing.
talking more about Summerlin West. And they do have elevation so that even if you have the 3-story or the 2-story homes, the developers have planned it so that you still get some view.
It's a premium, though, is it not?
It's a premium.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, what I noticed is that you pay more for the price per square foot. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
I mean, just to get in at this time, you're looking at about $560, right?
Yes.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage, 1,800 square feet. On the outside of that, right, it's about $425,000, believe it or not.
You know, I love Summerlin. So I'm not going to say I don't. I do like it. It's not like where I want. It's not like I got to be in Summerlin. Like some people just got to be in Summerlin.
Sure.
I just think you're overpaying.
Well, you didn't start off in Summerlin when you moved there.
No, but I could have gone there.
Yeah.
I could have. I mean, it's not saying, and it's not saying that I wouldn't live there. I do like it, right? It's just, is the premium enough for me to go and spend that?
Yeah.
And say, okay, this is exactly what I want, and I'm going to spend $350 a square foot there. I mean, I don't know.
Sure. So for me, Summerlin, I don't live there right now. Would it be a future possibility? Absolutely. And for me, it's surrounded by the school system.
Yeah.
They have one of the top schools, both public and private schools.
So
All the
that's-
private high schools are in Summerlin.
Good point. Because you know what? If you think about this, schools, right, especially for soccer moms, right, with parents and stuff like that, schools is a big factor as far as like location wise. And that also helps the premium. And that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
100%.
So would I move to Summerlin? I don't know.
And everything's actually in Summerlin. I mean, you talked about downtown Summerlin where the retail and shopping and the restaurants are. You don't have to go all the way to the Strip. For them, it's, a 25-minute drive. You don't have to go to the Strip. You have everything all contained in Summerlin.
Yeah.
And I think people in Summerlin just stay in Summerlin. They don't really venture out.
That's a good point. And also, like, once you start going into the commercial areas, like the zonings and stuff like that, it's completely different. It's like when you go to Taco Bell, it's not your average Taco Bell. And what I mean by that is if you look at the building, there's certain code restrictions on how things need to be built versus if I lived, unincorporated Las Vegas, I'll go down the road, everything's all different. Nothing's like color chromatic. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really looks the same. Here, I feel like you're just like in one big bubble. Now, also, one thing I do want to mention is Summerlin is the biggest master plan community here in Las Vegas.
Correct.
So what I like about the Summerlin area, as soon as you go out of the Summerlin area, everything still feels like fresh and more new because of the high growth and the high demand. But again, is it really worth it? But now,
well, I'm going to say that it came in the top 11 in the country as far as master plan communities.
It did.
It did.
And I have a lot of clients from California. It really, the Summerlin feels like Irvine.
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like
good point.
Irvine that's up and coming, especially the Summerlin West and the new construction. It feels like Irvine when it first started.
Every time I go to Irvine, I feel uncomfortable, like I stole something, like I'm guilty. It's like, are you guys looking at me? I didn't steal it. I promise.
Right.
Now I want to get into Summerlin West and this new development.
Yes.
Right. So where is this development at exactly?
So are you going to pull up the map again?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the map. So
Amazing.
Here's the map. I'm going to zoom out. So initially we were right here. This is what we were just talking about.
Okay.
So if we jump back on the 215, head east, right?
Actually, we're going to go further west.
Further west?
Further west, which is further north, right? So then,
Oh, it's over here.
It is. So past Charleston Boulevard, where we were.
Okay.
And off of the Far Hills exit.
Okay.
And then basically Summerlin Parkway freeway right now stops right in between the Far Hills and the Lake Mead exits. Summerlin Parkway is actually going to be expanded further west.
Okay.
I thought it was because they stopped production on that, right?
Yeah.
For a little bit of time.
For a little bit of time. But they will be going west because of all the new, residents going in there.
Yeah.
And then between the Summerlin Parkway and the Lake Mead Boulevard exit, there's actually a bunch of land slated for commercial by Howard Hughes. So my assumption is that they're going to build another downtown Summerlin number 2 over there.
Which is actually true because here's the thing. Right here, Far Hills, what you're talking about, when you exit this, all this right here, this is Red Point. Then we have Red Point Square here.
Correct.
Then if we head a little bit more north, right here, this is a developer, Pulte Homes, Reverence, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So all this has already been built. What you're saying is all this right here eventually will be connected at one point.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Now I do apologize because there was actually another new development taking place, and that's actually on Tropicana and 215 on the west side, which is another development.
Yes.
But that was my fault. We're talking about something different. I went to the wrong area.
That's okay. That's okay.
So I mean, there's a lot of land still to be slated for all this
I
stuff.
was going to bring that part of it up because you were bringing out that map.
Yeah.
We're looking at how far up it goes, talking about Charleston.
Yes.
Now, you go beyond, and let's say you keep going, not just more west, because we know that that's going to like head into where all the outdoor life is going, right?
Right.
Let's say you kind of go more north, right? We'll say northwest. You get to a point where there's a mountain. They can't just keep building up, can they? I mean, because there's a mountain where it's like, okay, now you got to like almost create a road to go through the mountain or around it. There's nowhere else to build. So you think, where are they going to keep going?
Up on top of the mountain.
I mean, they're already there almost.
I mean, sky high.
If you look at it, it's close. Like Carmel Canyon, those places up there, they're almost tapped out up there.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Red Point. Which developers are out there?
Yes.
Give us some communities. Like what's going on out there?
Yeah, so just, to add about, Summerlin West, it's about 5,000 of new, acres of land that they're going to be developing in the future for the next 20 years. And then as far as the style goes, they're really focused on like a Spanish architecture and mid-century modern look.
Yeah.
And, it's going to
Really?
be, yes, it's going to be very pedestrian friendly. So there's going to be a lot of active, lifestyle. Again, people going to Red Rock almost every day, hiking, biking, rock climbing. That's really the focus of that, lifestyle component. And they're really going to focus on the modern urbanized areas. And you talked about the high density.
Yes.
They're really creating that because they want people to walk more and be more active in that area.
One of the only complaints that I have, and I'm not going to say Summerlin's bad. I'm not trying to bash. I like it. I do. But it just seems like the 3-story homes, they're so close.
Well, I mean, they're at least 10 feet apart.
Well, I've looked at some of the pictures, and some of them don't even have like a wall The wall is the actual house that separates them.
Well, you also got to understand that is the lifestyle, right? And the way that it's being developed, like we just talked about density, right? So the reason why they're doing that is so that way the developer can add 1 or 2 more homes. In addition to that, that also forces you to go outside, right?
It's true.
So,
but I'm not trying to, but you look at like the backyard. I'm just bringing this up because, man, you knock on, like say you bump it.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you're out there and you got like the barbecue or something and you bump it. You're bumping somebody else's house. It's kind of weird. It's different.
Well, it depending on the price point, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, if you're at the 560 range, you're going to run into that problem. But here's the thing. You'll never get your 10 out of 10 of what you're looking for in a home. But, if you want to be in the Summerlin area, you're paying this $600,000.
You're buying location.
You're buying a location. You can actually overlook that. And also your lifestyle and the people that you mingle with may be a little bit different because, believe it or not, housing, right, is really segregated based upon income level. Let's just be real here. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, I don't live there. That's over my budget.
Yeah, but you could.
But I don't want to.
I know,
it's
but
over
you don't
my
want to.
I'm Asian. Talking about Asian, right?
Talking about.
As you can see, where we're
shout
in.
out. Yes, happy Chinese New Year, happy Lunar New Year for all those celebrating.
Nice.
That's why we're wearing red today.
Yep.
And I know, obviously, Chakits, that's your color.
Yes, red.
Yes, so you wear it all the time.
So I
Yes.
got to eat some Asian food today is what you're saying.
Well, you need to go to
gotta
Panda
celebrate.
Express.
Yes.
Go to Panda Express.
I'm going to say anything Chinese, I need to eat it. Just put it on a plate. They're going to say, okay,
Hey,
Chinese New Year.
celebrating the New Year, right?
That's right.
You're the tiger, too.
You're the tiger, baby.
Rawr. You know what? I always wanted to be the tiger, the dragon, but man, I'm the goat. I don't want to be the goat.
The goat.
Yeah, I'm the goat. I don't want to be the goat.
Hey, G-O-T, right?
Hey, goat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Means
goat.
you're the
It's
goat of
great.
real estate.
I guess so.
There
you go.
There you go. Nice
So-
turnaround.
You
So
like that?
could you name a couple
Yes.
neighborhoods in Red
Absolutely.
Point?
Yes. So within Red Point, we have developers like Woodside Homes, Taylor Morrison, Toll Brothers, Pote Homes, and Tri Point. I
Okay.
mean, you've got them all, basically. And Red Point, is the entryway into the Summerlin West community.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the base price, but it's starting from $595 all the way to $775, just the base price.
Just the base price.
Base price. And again, for new construction, I remind my buyers all the time, there's a lot premium added on top.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously structural and design added on top. And then your backyard is also unfinished.
Yeah.
So you'll have to finish it within the year.
So if it's at 600,
Yes.
what should a person expect? That how much is something like this going to cost to actually get into something up in Summerlin?
Oh, so if the base price
Yeah,
is
the
600?
yeah.
So again, depending on the builder, right? Because obviously, Toll Brothers being a luxury product,
Mm-hmm.
I almost fell off my chair when I heard that lot premiums are $250,000.
They're on
top.
drugs.
You know what's so crazy?
How do you get away with that?
Because of
people
the
pay
view,
for it.
because of the view, because of the unobstructed view. You're paying a premium for the view.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Is it worth $250
It ain't worth
to get a view? Like I get it. You're coming from California. Maybe you're.
But
big
I mean, it's probably a
owners. I don't
peekaboo
know.
view.
Well,
right?
well,
the
maybe
one,
not.
Well, the one, so
Maybe not, but you
Toll
could be right.
Brothers, it's called Acacia Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
The model homes are actually one of those, spec homes where you have the unobstructed view, and it is an unobstructed view.
Oh, wow.
Because of the elevation, we talked about it, West
Yeah.
Summerlin, because Far Hills, it goes up, you are able to get that unobstructed view.
And a lot of the homes they're starting to come with like tankless water heater, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's standard,
Standard now,
Yes.
right? It wasn't before, and
It
it
wasn't.
saves a lot of space, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And storage space is everything, especially for families. So
What about like water softener? They come with that as well.
water softener is not included, but they have the water softener loop, so you could add it on after you close.
Nice.
Yep.
So we talked about homes, right? Single family or detached homes.
Detached homes, correct.
Okay. What about like if I just want to get a condo or a townhome? Do they sell those up there?
Yes. So there's a community called Red Point Square, which is north of Red Point, that offers the detached and attached homes options so that it gives that flexibility. So it's obviously on a more flexible budget. So let's talk about pricing.
Yeah.
So we've got builders like KB Home, Richmond America, Lennar is also there. And the attached homes are about $420,000 starting price.
Okay.
And that's usually a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, about 1,450 square feet in size.
Okay.
And then we have other attached homes by Richmond American that starts at $448,000, also 3-bedroom, 3-bath, about 1,520 square feet.
Are all these communities or neighborhoods, are they in a gated community?
Some are, most aren't.
Okay.
Most aren't actually in the Red Point Square.
I got want to bring something up.
Yeah.
Do you think investors are investing for investment properties here?
They are 100%.
I see rents way overpriced there.
Well, number one, as we all know, rents are really hard to get right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no inventory whatsoever. So I have buyers that are trying to purchase a home but can't find what they like, so they want to rent for the time being, but we can't even find rentals for them. Are you having that same experience, Chuck?
I can attest to that because you know that that rehab property did, the 2-bedroom condo. So I got a rent for 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $1,475 a month. But I got a 1 whole year payment all up front.
Wow.
That's
nice.
fantastic.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Congratulations.
And we had multiple applications, but obviously I scrutinized the hell out of those applications because the home was completely brand new at this point. You know what I mean? I went overboard. But anyway, the point of my story is this. What you're saying is absolutely 100% correct, because I would never rent out a 2-bedroom condo, right? Condo for $1,500 a month. I mean, that's ridiculous. My mortgage is not even close to that.
You know, I don't know. I think Summerlin too, like, people will pay it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I saw it online. It's like, you know, rent is probably that same style home or the same square footage, like $300 more in rent. And they're not having a problem. It's just people still want to be there even if they're renting.
Exactly. And landlords could charge a premium right now because of the low inventory. So, you know, when I run the rental comps here in like the Summerlin West area for my investors, I think you could easily get on the high 2s, even like, early 3,000 per month, easily. And there's a demand for that, and we are going to get multiple applications.
But here's the fascinating part: the investors are not buying based upon cash flow, because you're not making a high cash flow if you're paying cash. I mean, your return on investment is probably like less than like 2%, and if you didn't do the financing, you're not making any money on the financing. So what this tells me is that they're buying based upon speculation, where they're just buying it, could possibly be taking a $200-300 loss, but the equity, right? Within like last year, it's probably gone up like almost 24% in Summerlin. So basically that's what they're probably playing off of, right?
I think that's a combination of that. And also I do think that, like you said, if you don't have anywhere to rent or go,
right.
So the demand for rent year over year, if it keeps staying this way, will keep driving up that price, right, of rent.
Yes.
So like I agree. Like maybe it's a long-term hold, like 3-4 years. They're thinking, hey, we're not going to flip. We're just going to buy and keep for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
You know?
So I've had combinations. So actually, for my investors too, yes, they could charge a premium, right? Rentals have gone up 20% over the last year. And especially in Summerlin, you could charge that premium, like you said, because people want to be there. At the same time, again, for those that are doing the long-term investment, it makes sense because this is where the future of Summerlin is for the next 5, 10, 20 years.
Right.
It's going to be fully developed with new commercial, freeway expansions, new schools, new parks.
Yeah.
And that's going to obviously take the equity to the next level.
Also, what I've noticed is some of these investors, what they are doing, and I thought about this too, where as soon as a development starts, before they start breaking ground, some of these you can actually get in early.
Sure.
But that's going to be for a certain type of person that can visualize and see the home without physically seeing the home.
Right.
Because a lot of buyers need to physically see it, right?
Yep.
But what I've noticed some of these investors will do is, because I talked about this in all my videos, look, when a brand new community comes out, this is the only channel that provides this information. This is a quick generic plug. Anyway, you want to buy in the beginning at the first phases. So what they'll do is just buy it, build it out, don't even rent it, hold on to it. By the time they're almost done,
Correct.
they have a value.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But if there's carrying costs involved, so let's just say there's carrying costs, I'm talking about power and all that stuff, utilities.
Right.
And if they have a mortgage, if their mortgage is only $2,000 a month, that's $24,000, right, a year. If they hold it for 2 years, right, that's almost $50,000. But the homes in those areas have gone up like $100,000 more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So sometimes, obviously, they're doing it as gambling, but I've seen where a couple buyers, right, that's what they'll do.
They're just holding on.
They're just holding on, and they're just going to
100%.
sell it, which it is kind of risky, right? Because the market could tank from underneath us, but then you would just rent out the property.
And markets always come. I'm not going to say that it would come back right away, but they come back. What about master plan community fees?
So there's usually two. We have the master plan community fee, which is $48 per month for West Summerlin. And then on top of that, depending on the sub-community, there's additional.
So what's the difference between the master and the sub?
So master plan community is the whole Summerlin West. So everything you see on that map.
Oh, sorry. Hold on, I gotta decline it.
That's okay.
Where's my guy? He should be deleting this.
Business is coming in, guys.
I know. Hold on. Oh my gosh.
Hello, this is Chakits. I can sell you a $2 million home.
Dude, I was like trying to find the mouse. I'm like, where the hell's the mouse?
Show me proof of assets.
So where were we? Oh, master plan communities. Yeah. So there's usually a master plan community, which is Summerlin West in this case, $48. And then depending on the builder, so let me just give you an example. Obsidian by Woodside, that's an additional like $80. And that's basically on top of. So you have two HOAs.
Now, also another thing that I do want to mention, based upon the communities and the neighborhoods and the properties that you're talking about, based upon the builders, I do have all video tours on all those. So go ahead and check that out, and the link in the description below. Now, as far as like the master plan community, okay, I think they have like bike trails too, and I want to bring this up because this is actually very important because there's a lot of mountain bikers out there.
Yes. That
like to do the trails. And I see this all the time. I think there's over like 100 something trails where you can literally ride your bike up a mountain, right? Right around the mountain and see the whole Las Vegas Valley, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's like you got a lot of people that kind of network out there.
Yeah.
It like you said, it comes one big community. You know, you're out there mountain biking. People are hiking.
Yes.
Sometimes they're camping.
Yes.
I mean, they do a lot of stuff out there.
Do you guys know this coffee shop and bike store called Pedal and Pour in South Summerlin? So it's basically a half bike store and half coffee shop.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And that's where all the bikers meet up, and then they go bike every morning.
Cool.
See, I mean, I would do it. If I was out there, I would have to probably like change my lifestyle. I would have to.
Nah, just get an electric bike, dude. I'm telling you, that's what they're doing now. But these electric bikes are like almost $12,000. Like you can literally buy a dirt bike. But yeah, a lot of them are now going through electric bikes, and I think they're pretty cool where you don't have to pedal up the hill, but when you come down the hill, it's a lot fun, right? But you're still getting that exercise. So
yeah,
I think that's something that I would probably get into.
Yeah. So I do want to point out, you mentioned about the new home flip and how long investors hold. I do have a great example. So I do have an investment buyer that went in earlier in a new community by Taylor Morrison. They bought it all in for $720,000. And then, they're closing this spring. And by the time they close, they're already $100K up equity.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
I had somebody who was talking to them that they bought last year. They just put money in. They were first time home buyer.
Yeah.
They got 100,000 equity.
Yeah.
And look, it was a banner year last year for
Mm-hmm.
real estate. So we can't say that's going to happen this year, but still, you're putting your money into something. It's going to go up.
Going to go up, and obviously with this new development, with everything going on in the future, and we know that, I think this is a great opportunity for investors to definitely take a look at.
Now let's talk about SIDS, right? What is SIDS, and does that exist?
It exists in new bills, absolutely.
Okay.
So basically, there's another term for Californians. I guess there's another term that's equivalent to SIDS and LIS in California.
Oh, you're probably talking Mayor Roos?
Yes.
But I think Mayor Roos is, that's what it is, Mayor Roos, yeah.
So special
improvement district.
Yep. So basically, it varies by developers, but I've seen like maybe $8,000 left, and you could pay it off, biannually, usually about $400 or $500 biannually to basically pay it off. And it's a one-time thing. If you decide to sell your home with a SID, it just rolls over to the new owner.
Man, there's like all kind of fees that come with owning a home in Summerlin.
Pretty much, you're gonna have to get an ID charge to live in Summerlin. It's gonna be like, show me your ID. Are you from Summerlin? We need to know you're from Summerlin. Okay, you can come in.
Yeah.
Now, what about the older homes in Summerlin? Are people still buying the older, like Spanish style homes in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do you have a favorite community in there that you want to talk about?
I mean, I do like Red Rock Country Club.
I do. I actually got married there.
Oh, really?
I did.
That is nice.
You know what I like about that is, well, here's the thing. There's two parts to that country club. You have the west and the east.
Yes.
If I lived there, I definitely need to live on the west side because that's where the golf course is, right?
It's gorgeous.
I mean, the golf course, goes through the east too as well, but they're actually two separate gates. So I'm going to consider them as two different communities. But what I've seen a lot lately is that you have luxury rehabbers.
Yes.
Buying the homes, going inside these things, gutting the homes, like redoing the home.
Yes.
Making it modern, clean. And these things are selling quickly.
Yeah.
I can't believe how fast it's selling. I mean, Summerlin's definitely a premium. That's for sure.
So I don't want to get off topic on this a little bit, but like with Summerlin, when do you guys think the frenzy for Summerlin started? Truly, like when did it really all kind of, where we have no inventory? Where did that really start, right? I mean, was that like 5 years ago Summerlin really started to pop off? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, Summerlin's always been popping off. I mean, you got to think about this because Summerlin has like so much to offer that every phone call I get, the first thing they're like, hey, I'm interested in Summerlin, right? And I think it goes back to why. Right.
Yeah, correct.
And that's what we're talking about. The why, it's the lifestyle. It's the things that they have there, right? It's the community. It's culture. And basically that's what you're paying for.
But it was it like that in the beginning?
I think it always
I wasn't
was.
around like when it all, I mean, you know what I mean?
When it started 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago. I wasn't here yet.
The fascinating thing is Howard Hughes had a vision and said, I'm going to buy thousands and thousands of acres in the desert over here, away from the old casino. And we're going to have a vision. And we're going to make this one big master plan community. I think the first person that moved in, and I could be wrong, I think it was like 1964 or something like that. The first person, I forget the name. I was reading up on it. I thought it was very fascinating. They had like this old picture where the mom was walking in. The dad was holding the box. The kid was playing. And it was actually the first home that was sold in Summerlin.
Wow.
But I forget the date and the year and the person. But I thought it was just kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like kind of history in the making if you think about it.
100%.
Well, it's the only city that has, I wouldn't say it has held its value, but instilled like prominence over Vegas.
Yeah.
Because you look at like Henderson, it's been around a long time, and they got cadence.
Yep.
But still, it seemed like people want to go to Summerlin or think about Summerlin first. Then it's like, okay, well, my backup option is Henderson. It's always Summerlin, then Henderson, right? And then it's like, okay, what else you got? Right?
And that's
Southwest.
where I come in and I talk about Southern Highlands, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know Southern Highlands Master Plan Community.
Yeah.
And I've been living there over 15 years. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go into another segment on this. We're going to take a look at some of the comments and questions. You're going to help me out here, Cowdy.
Hey, Joey.
All right, so let's go through some of this, see if we got any good questions on here. Dan, can you see that too as well? If you guys see a question on
Hi,
here,
Trixie.
let's go ahead and shout this out on the questions. And let's see if we can answer some of your guys' questions. So if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and type in your comments. So, wow. What is that? The realtor is cute. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I've been really working on this. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about her, man.
Oh, my bad.
No, I think it was for you.
All right, let's get into a question here. Any questions? You guys see any questions here?
Swimming pool's a must in Vegas, and that's a good something to bring up.
Yeah.
Is that a must? I mean, do you guys get clients that says that's a must? You got to have a pool. Like, is that the first thing they talk about?
I'm going to say probably about 35% right now, but when the summertime comes around, that tends to be about 50 to 60% of the equation when we do a home search, I'm going to say.
How about you? The same?
Same. And then I think I ran some stats too. I think it was homes that are over 750,000. Everyone expects a pool. Over 80% of those homes have pool already built in.
Somebody said, we'll pay $1,600 rent, but not in Summerlin. I don't blame them.
Well, you can't pay that in Summerlin.
Well, listen, but they're going to pay
you're not going to find it in Summerlin anyway.
Exactly.
And somebody's saying here that Summerlin is actually overpriced and actually it's not worth it. It's overrated, which is, it's a case-by-case basis. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, could I live in Summerlin? Yes, I can. Can I buy a $3 million home? Yes, I can. However, number one, I'm Asian. Let's start off with that, okay? I don't want to spend money, right? It is what it is. And I like where I live because what it comes down to is lifestyle. My lifestyle is I like to be on the strip. I want to be right next to the 15 or 215 because I'm moving, I'm going. I'm not that kind of guy that likes to be in the suburbs, right? Hanging out with a bunch of kids. I'm not a part of that culture. That's not my culture.
I think a lot of people from Summerlin don't live here. Like they do, some of them, but a lot of them move from other state. Like for you, you're next to the strip, so you got the culture of Vegas, and you like appreciate that part.
Yeah.
Where if you're coming from another state,
right,
all they know is Summerlin, Henderson. I think it's overrated. I wouldn't go to Summerlin myself. I could go to Summerlin. It's not. I don't need to be in Summerlin and try to do the deal. But if you want to do that, fine. I just think it's a lot of people outside of the state coming here, and they really don't know about Vegas, but they know that that's a desirable place.
Right.
And I think I always think it comes down to the marketing because places that live in Las Vegas, if you look on the search Google terms, right, Summerlin always pops up, and they're always marketing it, which is totally understandable, right? Because obviously they want more people to move there because it generates high demand. And when you have high demand, low supply, what happens is the cost goes more up, which makes total sense. And look, at the end of the day, Summerlin is not always the best place to live. It just comes down to lifestyle, right? And you got to take a look at everything. Even though that today's episode is really about Summerlin West, here's the thing about this channel. We're always going to tell you how it is. We're going to look at the pros and the cons and things, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't have to sell you anything. If you're going to buy something, you're going to buy something. If you like us, you're going to do business with us. But that's what I like about this show. We just tell you both sides, right?
Yeah. We're honest and we'll give you our personal opinions. So for me too, you know, when I first moved to Vegas, Summerlin wasn't on my list. I always stayed in the southwest side of town. Again, for me, accessibility to the strip like you, Chakits, that was important for me when I used to own my events planning and concierge company. Now that I have a family, it's a little bit different because now I'm looking at the future of the school and the education system, and I am leaning towards Summerlin because that's where all the private schools are and the top-rated public schools are.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
Now, here's a comment on here. The model homes got released by TriPoint, which is a developer out here for Summerlin. Is interesting list at $2.2 million. I think it's a great deal. So some people think it's a great deal, right? At $2.2 million. And I guess the question is, why do people think that Summerlin is expensive? And sometimes people think that Summerlin is actually worth the price.
I think it's our perspective where you're coming from. So a lot of our, Californian buyers or out-of-state buyers, again, they're buying affordable luxury lifestyle here in Vegas. What they could get for $1 million and where they're from, and compared to what they could get for $1 million here, goes a long way.
Man, you've read my mind. Like I'm teeing her up, and she's just like hitting this thing right out of the park. Tiger Shark says, I just bought a brand new home, right? Built it 4 months ago. Now it's up $30,000 in equity already. Great. Wow.
Great. Okay. Congratulations.
Here, I got a question for you. What about solar panels in a new home? Are they good or bad?
I think it's a personal choice.
Same.
Obviously, you could buy it, you could lease it. It's pretty expensive. Mm-hmm. In the long run, you may be able to save. And again, a lot of people coming from, California are more green friendly, so they want to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's a personal choice. Okay.
Now, for me, when it comes to solar panels, you got to break it down. Number one is how long you are going to live in that property. If you're going to live in that property for 5 years, you're going to sell it. Don't do it because the next person that's going to buy it, it's probably going to be hard to liquidate that property, especially with the solar panels. Doesn't mean that we can't sell it. I'm going through a process right now. It's going to be a case-by-case basis, so you got to get all your ducks in a line. How do you know if a solar panel is even actually worth it? It's based upon kilowatts. So the NV Energy right now, they're about 9 cents a kilowatt. Okay, there again, another call.
Hello, this is Chakits.
Hello, this is Chakits. 9 cents. I should be turning off my phone, and I forgot to tell York to turn off my phone. So, where I was going with this, you got to see exactly how much is it per kilowatt, right? And a lot of times what happens is with these solar companies, right, you're just leasing the equipment, but you have an agreement that you're going to pay a minimum of this much a month. So they can say, hey, look, instead of you paying 9 cents a kilowatt, well, you come with us, it's only 3 cents a kilowatt. But if you read the terms and the guidelines, year 3, right, could be 4 cents, 5 cents, 6 cents as it goes up. Look at that progression that goes up, right? You calculate all that total based upon how much kilowatts that you use today. That's going to determine exactly how much you're going to be paying in the next 20 years versus of what you're paying now. So that's how you determine to see if it's actually worth it or not.
Do you think that NV Energy, because you have to go through them to do it, or they're going to have a hand in it anyways? Like, there's not really, like, I'm all
well, you have to tap into their supply.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
you
why
have
would
to
they
pay.
not be able to try to control it a little bit? Because look, if let's say everybody started going just straight dependent on solar, and they were X'd out of the situation, they're not going to be happy about that. So as long as they got a hand in it, how much savings is there? Like, am I saying, hey, would I do solar? Sure, if it's going to help the environment. But as long as there's a NV Energy or another energy company, which is the predominant energy company here in Vegas, if they're in on it or they got some type of part in it, I mean, it's going to be controlled.
Well, again, it's case-by-case basis, and that's why you have to see how that contract is negotiated.
Yeah.
If you can actually get it where you guarantee for the next 20 years it's going to be 3 kilowatts, you just crushed it. You made it.
Right.
You made out. You're great. So, again, it's case-by-case basis. Yeah. So, Bunny says, hey, Chuck, it's my family and I have been watching you for years. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. How much would a 3-car garage be in Summerlin? Now, talking about 3-car garage, you don't really get too many 3-car garages anymore. Like, all the builders that we just named right off of here
are 2-car.
Are all 2-car garage. Some may be tandem And that's what I've noticed. They don't do the 3-car wide because the average lot size right now is, believe it or not, 30 feet wide by 100 feet deep. That's kind of like the average right now. They pretty much don't go any wider. They go more depth, right?
Right.
So there's some too that they have it separated. They got 2 here, and then on the other side they got 1 over here.
Right.
So it's almost like an isolation 3rd-car garage. That I've seen.
But that's more for like golf cart and also storage, because if you go inside the garage, and here's a quick tip, you go inside the garage, right, and you're looking outside. If you look at the side of the walls, you don't have a 2-foot span. So if you drove a car in there, you're not going to be able to open your door. So technically, it's really not a 3-car garage, right?
Yeah.
So these are things that you have to look at. Even builders, when you do a 2-car garage, you do the same. You might only have a foot span here and a foot span here. As soon as you pull in 2 cars, you're not going to be able to open your doors. It is what it is. Right. So that's why you need to make sure there's a 2-foot span on each side when you go inside your garage.
What about the starting price point? Is that like $650, $700 for a 3-car garage in Summerlin?
Maybe on a resale, but you're probably not even going to get too many of those at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're kind of hard to come by. A lot of builders now are not even doing a 3-car, but they will do a tandem, which means you'll have back to back, but then you have another car on the side.
I saw there's one that's 4 too, right? Is there a tandem where it's like it's almost like 2 garages, right? It's not like
I've seen those.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
Yeah, because there's some of them they were like a tandem on one, and then you got just one car could park here, but now you can like park 4 cars.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is.
Okay, let me see here. I'm trying to get another one. I live in what is this? I love Southern Highlands. I lived there for 9 years. Cool. Cowdy lives in Southern Highlands.
I do.
Okay, does Las Vegas mandate solar panels, or can you opt out and install later? Yes, you can actually install later, but there are some builders, right, like Lennar, they have a program with a solar company where they're automatically building with it. They'll build a solar panel with it. For me, I want to have that option. I don't want to go into it on a solar panel where you're forced to have a solar panel and an extra payment. Yeah. If a developer did that for me, I wouldn't move forward, because I don't want somebody picking and choosing what I'm paying. You know what I'm saying? I want to have that determination, but I think they're kind of steering away from that now because there's been a little bit problems. What about the Tesla power wall and panel? What's your guys' thoughts about that? You guys know anything about that?
Yeah, they're having a lot of homes that are getting that set up, but they're not actually fully setting it up. It's just the setup for it, right? You have to actually put it in yourself.
Like, what do you mean? Like the tiles, or what are you saying?
No, like they have the electrical part of it where it's like if you want to go and get the whole part of it, you still have to put in the device to actually get charged to charge your car, right?
Oh, yeah. So basically, a lot of developers now will offer you the 220. Right. So if you do have a Tesla, right, you just want to make sure that you already opt out and have them wire your panel for the 220. Yeah. Now, if you do the 220, you want to make sure your breaker box is a minimum of a 220 on the amperage on your power breaker box. So that's something, just a quick tip again. See, this is the only channel where you're going to get it live. We just tell you how it is. What you guys do, what do you guys think about the community growing across the M Casino? So now we're going to go back over to the south side of the Las Vegas Valley.
Okay.
So what do you think about the community growing across the M? So are they talking about Inspirada? That's probably what they're talking about. That's the only community I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and also Henderson's really going beyond, like way back now, beyond the M Casino. Right. I think it's great because I think at some point they're going to build all the way out to the state line. Yeah. I feel
state line.
Well, they got a lot of land back there.
They do,
and then they're going to keep building. And that's that gene and all that right there. That's coming out, man. I mean, they were talking about that 15 years ago that they were going to do it, and they're just it's starting to come to full circle here. So would you live in Inspirada or Summerlin personally?
Summerlin.
Really? Inspirada or Summerlin?
Inspirada.
I'm going to go Summerlin. The reason why I want Summerlin because of convenience. Everything is very close by. You can jump on the freeway. It's very convenient. For me, Inspirada, I feel like it's still a little bit deep, right? You got to get out of all those little nook and crannies before you hit the main sector road to go grocery shopping. However, they are going to build like a shopping center and all that in Inspirada, but that is too far out for me. So as of right now, I would definitely be in Summerlin. But as far as future growth and equity position, then maybe it's going to be Inspirada.
Yeah, they're selling what is the square footage price point? What, $300 a square foot? Is that
Where in Inspirada?
Yeah.
No, Inspirada is about $225 right now.
That's so cheap.
It is.
That's expensive.
Well, listen, compared to
man, I bought a home for $195,000. Come on, man.
Compared to where things are at in Summerlin, like
course.
I would like. What are you paying in Summerlin? What's the cost?
Well, Summerlin for a brand new home, you're going to be in for about like 300 and some change a square foot.
That's $75 more a square foot.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, quick thoughts. Sky Canyon. Okay. Somebody's asking, can you guys talk about Sky Canyon and compare the two between Summerlin? Number one, what's the difference between Sky Canyon and Summerlin?
Well, Sky Canyon is all the way in North Las Vegas. It's definitely a developing, new construction there too. There's a ton of builders and a ton of price points.
Is that towards Grand Teton and all that? Is that like out that area?
Yes,
right?
out in the northwest.
Right.
Yes.
So 15 and then
Right.
the 95.
Yep.
So, and then, Summerlin, again, talking about that master plan community feel and obviously the convenience of everything there. Sky Canyon, there's nothing there right now.
Yeah. Now, like for me, Sky Canyon, they have about 10,000 homes. You have a bunch of developers coming on out there. The thing about it is they are pretty much far northwest, and they just literally just built like this little shopping center, which is the Smith's Marketplace, which is unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
I
Yes.
mean, I go there. I mean, they have like a wine testing place. I mean,
Yep.
they sell clothes. It's like a Walmart.
Yeah.
You
Right?
traveled to go to Smith's out there to hang out.
No. I just stopped by because Smith's. I'm going to tell you this about Smith's real quick.
Where you
They
go?
got the number one best fried chicken,
Oh,
nice and crispy and salty, like so good. Trust me, I do this all the time. It's not good for a heart, but you know what? Sometimes it's worth it. Take that chance, right? Now, the thing about it is, if you are into hiking, biking, right? They have all that there. It's more of a family type of community. It does give me the Summerlin vibe. However, it is still a little bit mature or immature or mature, whatever it is, right?
Growing?
But it's still growing.
it's a baby.
Yeah. So I don't think it's there yet, but they are heading in the right direction. In addition to that, they do have a clubhouse, which is the clubhouse. Their facility is really nice. That's something that Summerlin doesn't have, like a clubhouse that you can like literally
Yeah.
go to. So
Unless you're in a gated,
Yeah,
Red
exactly.
Rock Country Club or other communities.
So that's something that I personally would like to see in Summerlin, like one big clubhouse that anybody can go, that if you are an owner in Summerlin, okay? Now, their clubhouse is really nice. However, the downfall is it's pretty damn pricey. I think it's about like $2 something for the clubhouse,
Wow.
right?
per month.
Yeah, per month.
Okay.
Now, as far as like location-wise, for my lifestyle, for travel, for work, I would not live out there. It's still a little bit too far for me. Now, if you want more of the nature, you don't want the hustle and bustle, then that is a great place. Okay, so again, that's going to be a case-by-case basis, and that's just my thought on it. Good evening, guys. You're going to say something, Dan? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, what's the cost of square footage out there? So I guess I was going to say something.
So the price per square foot, I don't know exactly what it is. The last time that I checked, and this was a couple months ago, $178 a square foot, but that is actually inaccurate. So I'm going to say right now it's probably about $225 a square foot. However, it's still a lot cheaper, but you're going to get more home there
Right.
than Summerlin. So if you want to stretch your money, this is where you kind of like weigh your pros and cons, right?
Okay.
Good evening, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on living in a high-rise home on the Strip? What do you think?
Again, if you want that strip lifestyle, go for it. And I actually just leased a unit at the Martin. Don't you love the Martin?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite high rises.
Yeah.
So it's just across the freeway, right next to Panorama.
Yeah.
We actually did a tour together, Chakits.
So check that out. I'm not going to have it on the link below, but just find it
Just
somewhere.
find us, yeah, the Martin Tour. But it's very luxurious. You've got the best gym facility, the pool. You actually also have a 24-hour convenience store, that little shop at the bottom where you could find your late night snacks.
The only thing I can say is it good for family? I'm not saying it's not. I would live there. If I was single and everything was good, I would definitely live there. But is it like, can you bring your family around that area, and are you going to be comfortable?
That building, yeah, you can, but Panorama, if we look at the South Tower and the North Tower, it's a little bit more wild, young and hip. People that party on the Strip, that's kind of like the lifestyle, but the Martin is just kind of more of like a luxury type of living. But continue with this guy's sentence here. He wants to live on the Strip, but actually at the Waldorf Astoria.
Oh, beautiful.
Which is a beautiful building. HOAs are $3,000 a month. And he says, what are your thoughts about Waldorf Astoria? I actually did a collaboration with an agent out there on a penthouse, and it was very beautiful. Again, that just comes down to lifestyle. Mm-hmm. The thing about this is what happens if you forget your groceries or you forget something in the car.
Right?
Right? You got to go up and down, up and down.
Up and
go
down.
to valet.
So for me, I'm going to say personally, I've outgrown that, right? I just have too many cars. It just comes down to lifestyle. If you don't really have anything, you're minimizing your lifestyle, and you're like want to be on the strip because you constantly party or you work on the strip. That actually does make sense. So it's a case by case basis.
Let me ask this from an investment standpoint, right? So we know that houses, we talk about residential, is that going to sell and appreciate as much as say a normal house would, or would it be more?
No. The answer is no. Okay.
No.
This is what I've learned from the last market crash when I got into housing. The first sector to go is going to be commercial buildings right off the get-go, right? The market tanks. Then it's going to follow up with high-rise condos. They're going to get hit hard. Reason why they get hit hard is because it's hard to finance, right?
Right.
A lot of high-rises won't finance, okay?
Correct.
I would say too, plus a lot of people rent those out because they're good.
Yeah.
Renting, you get
Sure.
a flow,
Mhm.
cash flow.
Yep.
And if you're going to leave a house, it's not your primary. So probably a lot of people don't live in those too, right? As a primary, right? It would be more seasonal.
there are few, depending on the building, right? So it's a case by case building because each building is a different lifestyle. Now, the follow up, the next thing to go would actually be condos, townhomes, then single family residence in that order. What do you think?
That's really interesting.
I think we're crashing tomorrow.
Oh, please.
Just
Will it? Will it?
Please elaborate.
Well, let's just talk. Back in 2005, we saw a trend. Are we in a bubble?
Is there a water shortage in Las Vegas? And what can we do to address the issue if there's a water shortage?
So the answer, people talk about that, the line on Hoover Dam, right? But they've been talking about it, or it's been around for over 15 years. And are we impacted by water shortage restrictions? No. Just that water, watering, the irrigation, it's, from 5 days, they said 3 days a week.
Yeah.
That's about it. There's no restrictions on water for us.
I mean, here's the thing. My answer to that, don't worry about it. You kids will be dead. You're good. Why are we worrying about that? Also, does the water shortage affect our housing market? Does it affect the value? The answer is no, not at all. We're just trooping it along.
I think it affects the consumer confidence of people buying here, but I don't think it's going to stop them. There might be well, I'm still going to buy, but it's a concern. It's not like I'm going to not buy. But I think you got, there's Lake Mead has contracts. There's an aquifer. I think we have the Colorado River that flows, right? And so there's certain contracts that each city or each state would have, right, based upon that water. From my understanding, I don't think we're in need of having more water. Look, we're short on water in Lake Mead, but are we going to run out of water? I don't think we will. I feel that there's a lot of money that's in the city, and they can't let Las Vegas just dry up. Yep. So also one last thing is just the casinos. I think they have a way of recycling their water, and I think that's the big thing.
So I'm going to leave it with this last comment here. It says, I love it when this lady comes on the show because she is full of good information and nothing but positive and professionalism. So, Cowdy, I just want to say thank you so much for coming up on the show. We really do appreciate it, and definitely want to have you back on the show. Now, if you guys want to reach on out to Cowdy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a link in the description below. That's right. Also, if you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys wanted updates on information on what's going on out here in the housing market, check out our Instagram. That's right. Other than that, until next time, guys. Hey guys, we are back. Gotcha! We are back, guys. We got one more thing. Look, most importantly, I I want to say this. Cowdy, she is a young entrepreneur, owns multiple businesses, sells real estate. She also has 2 kids, right, Cowdy?
2 daughters.
2 daughters.
Amazing daughters.
Well, actually has 3 kids, 2 daughters and her husband that she has to take care of.
Actually, he takes care of me.
Okay, he takes care of you. So Cowdy had one more thing before we let you guys go. So what is it, Cowdy?
Yeah, so I just, again, thank you so much. You know, Chakits, Stan, for having me. I really appreciate you inviting me. This is my 2nd time live.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, from my bottom of my heart, I just wanted to thank you guys. So I brought these gift certificates from Mama Bird. We're actually expanding right now next door with more seating and a full bar that's opening in the next couple weeks. So this is for you guys.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
hey guys, also real quick, if you guys have not been to Mama Bird's, we went there. We have a full collaboration that we did together. The food there is really good. Now, there's one thing that I really do like, which is the brisket
grilled cheese sandwich.
That's right.
I see all your likes whenever I post it.
Well, I think I'm gonna go tonight.
There you go.
You said brisket.
Brisket.
Okay, I got to make
sandwich.
a run.
All right, guys, we are out of here.